So, welcome to this guided meditation. I'm going to talk you through just a little simple process and share some themes with you which might change the way you think and elevate your thinking, give you some new thoughts to think about, something that might awaken a deep ancient wisdom within you. And I'd recommend with this one, just get yourself in a comfortable position. Usually I like to sit upright on the end of the bed or on a chair. No music. Obviously you can have this on in the background and listen to the sound of my voice. I'd also recommend keeping the eyes closed, hands in your lap. If you'd like to sit cross-legged, that's also fine. We're just going to go through a little journey together and invite spirit, if you like, or invite our higher selves to come through and bring us a message that we can all benefit from, including myself. So you can think of me like a radio that's bringing some music through. In this case, it's going to be some philosophy or some wisdom from a higher dimension. So let's get comfortable. Just sit upright. Just let yourself just breathe quite normally. No controlled breathing, just let it happen. Closing the eyes. And then just bring your awareness and your attention onto the movements of the breath and how that travels in and out of your body. I don't want you to do anything with it, just observe. Observe how your body's currently feeling. Keep your eyes closed. Now just start to deepen that breath, not forcefully, but just with a little bit of light effort. Just lengthen the breath on either side. And when you breathe out, imagine you're just sinking into your bed. Just release. But stay sat upright. Again, not with force, just a light, effortless float. Our meditation today is going to focus on the concept of worth. On a material, physical level, our worth tends to be associated with material attributes such as beauty, wealth, acquisitions, reputation, achievements, things that can be perceived with the five senses. But in reality, we share the same infinite spirit which animates and allows all things. Which emanate from a source which is far greater than each individual part. It's greater than the sum of the parts. Like the sun planet or the sun disk emanating its sun rays, each of us being like the rays of the sun which emanate from the sun, but the sun itself is much greater. And it's that light of spirit which allows us to go through this experience, constantly going through its fluctuations. Become aware of that presence within you, that spirit, that aliveness, which allows you to know your physical experience. It allows you to know your thought. It allows you to think and mold your thoughts. It allows you to move. It allows you to observe, smell, taste, touch, create. And that spirit is the same spirit that animates every living being equally. And if it's the same spirit, there can be no difference. There can be no favoured ones, no special ones. We're all favoured equally and all special equally, cut from the same cloth. And to believe it is one thing, but to know it experientially is another. And our meditation today is aimed at pointing at the experience. The words that we're using here point to that experience. And when we open up ourselves to these words and ponder them, and first have faith that they might be true, and we leave that door open, it allows the light to enter and then show us in our immediate reality, our experience. And we go from belief to knowledge, to knowing, to certainty, where we're not just blindly believing anymore with no evidence, but we get the evidence. And our meditation is about connecting with that spirit and opening ourselves up to the spiritual truths of who we are, our true nature. And when we ask for guidance inwardly, and we ask deeper questions such as, what is the meaning of life? What am I? What is spirit? Is there spirit? And then we remain in silence, the answers come. And these answers can come even whilst we're doing things, because inwardly we can remain silent, yet continue our daily activity. We can still monitor our thoughts, but inwardly still be aware of that silent background. So we're able to do both. We're able to operate in this physical world, but also cultivate our spiritual practice on the go. And when we've got time, we can take some moments out of our day and have a break like we are now. This practice eventually becomes something that you integrate into your daily living. Just absorb the thoughts, these new thoughts, this new meditation. Just energetically, vibrationally, these words will stimulate something deep within your subconscious and bring them to the light. And so we gently bring light to our split mind, and the split being the part that we're conscious of and the part that we're not conscious of. And we move from states of confusion, doubt, uncertainty to a state of wholeness, a state of light or enlightenment, illumination. And we open ourselves up to receive information from a different source, from outside the world. bit like a radio, will bring a message through from a radio station that's or a radio mast which is transmitting radio frequencies, and so your body then becomes a vessel for bringing the light of heaven or the light of love, your true self, your true spiritual self, beyond your identity as a body, personality, ego, character. Your true spiritual self comes through and just enlightens the world, assisting others to do the same so that they too can bring their light through by your demonstration. And each of these words is dispelling any fear, any illusion that may be blocking the light from shining through. A bit like a cloud which temporarily obscures the sky, so we can't see the sun, but we know the sun is still there. And I'd like you to know that we're always meditating. It's just it gets obscured, and it's the obscuration, the illusions that cover up the clear sky that draw our attention, and then we give it energy by buying into them, like believing that the mirage in the desert is actually water, and then we thirst after it. The mirage is real, but the water is an illusion. Our spirit is real, but the body is an illusion. Now that might just be a belief right now, or an idea, but just allow that idea to sink in and open up to its potential as perhaps it's real. And then the truth will find you when you ask for it, because your free will cannot be wrested from you, but you can use it to discern the truth from the false, using our inner guide, our direct connection to source. Because from down here we don't always have the full picture, but there is a guide within us who has the full picture and is able to share with you specifically what you need, and with me specifically what I need, and everybody else specifically what they need. A bit like if I was to use Google Maps from where I am and you were to use Google Maps from where you are to arrange to meet in London, we'd have different maps to get us there, but the destination would be the same. And the destination is freedom from all suffering, all pain, all hankering after temporary illusory pleasures which end in disappointment, and seeking the eternal truth of heaven, the eternal state of peace, joy, bliss, and loving creation and connection and oneness and wholeness, where every single living being recognizes its equality and the love of the Creator. We need not suffer, and it's only the power of our mind, when it's used in a fearful way, can create the illusion of fear being real, in the sense that it's eternal and that it was made this way, when actually creation can only create things which are loving, things which are of itself. The sun can only produce heat and light, and creation in reality is only based in love and peace and joy and happiness. But we can misperceive things, we can distort how we see things. But if we ask to be shown the truth in contrast with what we've made through our misperceptions, in our meditations, these things will be shown to us. And that's from my own direct experience. And I'd ask you to do the same. It's not just take my word for it, but open your mind to these words and then practice your meditations. And you'll be shown it. And your meditation doesn't have to be done in a certain posture, in a certain setting. It can be done on the fly, but it can help to be sat in a certain posture and a certain setting initially. We are loved, we are equal. None of us are better or worse than others. Some of us might temporarily know more than others, but only to assist others to that same level of understanding. Our peak potential, not as bodies, but as spirit. Feel the divinity that is you. You are wholly worthy because you were created that way. We were created that way equally. Not as bodies, but as spirit. We were created whole, perfect, in the image and likeness of God. And to be able to create only loving, experiences. But we must first return the mind to a whole state, back to its whole state. So the mind can then express the wholeness of spirit, with the mind being the expressive agent and the body also being an expressive agent. So that love of the spirit from heaven is reflected on earth. And everything is transformed because the light shines on it. Just like when the sun shines on everything, it lights everything up. So let your spirit, let love light up your world and the world of those around you, so that they too can bring that same light through them. We wouldn't be in existence if we weren't worthy. And it's hard to believe because we associate ourselves with our bodies, our gender, our beauty, how much money we have in our bank balance, what we've achieved, our social media followers and likes, the clothes we wear, what we can do physically. None of those things actually matter. Because in the grand scheme of things, they're worthless. It's like a shooting star which flies across the sky and temporarily appears as beautiful, or a storm that temporarily passes. Both are temporary, transient, illusory in the sense that they're not everlasting. But we, as spirit, are everlasting. We are the beauty, we're eternal, and it's that we're trying to find and seek. Once we know who we are, we're whole, we're complete, we're worthy. And when we shine that light, when we shine that love outward, because it's a whole and complete light and nothing's lacking, all it wants to do is expand and extend outward, never being lost. Like a cup that runneth over from an infinite source, and that source being the creator, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it. And sometimes the most productive thing we can do is to reconnect inwardly, because physically everything we do, it's all going to go back in the box. It's all going to be forgotten. So honor yourself, know thyself, spend time in silence, And if you can't become aware of the presence within, ask for guidance in your daily activities. Ask to be shown the truth. But you are the divinity. We are the kingdom of God. Each of us is what makes up. We are the gift. We are the prodigal son or daughter. Let's take the gender away from it, but we are the prodigal being. We're the ones we're looking for. And every single being that we come across is going to reflect that divinity back to us once we see it in ourselves, because each of us is the beauty of life. Not our bodies, but our spirit, the spirit within. So these objects don't matter, but they then become useful tools or objects which we can use to express our love and our creativity through, to honour the divinity within ourselves and others. Just absorb that. And just tune back into the breath now. Notice the quality of the breath. Those thoughts have awakened within your subconscious, and they will flower into beautiful plants and trees. Have a few more moments if you like, but I'm going to end the meditation there. Sending my love as always. God bless everyone.